Hello, hello, hello. Hey, pointer lover. Oh, thanks. I am freezing. So, so freezing. Hey, Amber. Hey, cool gamer. I love cool gamer. Like, they rarely comment, but they always say hello. Hey, Kimberly. Good to see you. It's Friday night. TGIF. Um, hey, Mel. It's just me and my oldest tonight. My youngest is staying over at his grandma's and grandpa's, as well as my husband and my daughter, because tomorrow is opening day of shotgun hunting season. And so it's a big deal in our house. So they are gone. So it's just me and my oldest. And I asked him if he wanted to go out to dinner, and he said no. So he's playing video games and had Arby's. What can he do? Kate's going to join us here in a second. Yeah, SA, good job. Good job. So it has been a tragic. Hey, Care D. Hey, Beatlemaniac. It's been a tragic, sad week. I feel like I keep saying that every time I come on here. As far as I know, we don't have any update on Michael Vaughn's case. Hey, Ava. Happy Friday. One thing did I tell you guys, I'm sure you've all seen in Delphi that yeah, I told you already that Keegan Kline, they said he lied and stuff like that. Hey, Allie. If you guys haven't checked out Alex's channel, please do. She's amazing, and she's like a huge advocate for Summer Wells, and in a positive way. And I want to see Summer found for every reason, obviously, but I know how I want her found for Allie too, because she spent so much time just wanting her to be found. So if you guys, I know this case is, I feel like every time I pick a case, it becomes really huge. Like Wednesday, I covered this case thinking, well, not everybody's covered it. Hey, Kate, thinking, okay, not everybody's covered it, so I'm good to go. And then it like blew up. What's going on, Beatlemaniac? Oh, Alex is one of my favorites. She can get really involved in a case. I don't know. We've talked about it before. Like, she doesn't I can't even, I hate saying beat a case to death, but like covers a case, moves on, then comes back when there's updates. I just like her a lot. She's sweet.
Parker is the case guru.
Every time I pick a case, I'm like, oh, come on. Like 2 days later, I'm like, no, that was my case. No. Right. But then I get Kate on a new case, and then we're up late.
And sending me down all kinds of rabbit holes. I'm like, I didn't even get there yet. And then she's like, gets me all into it.
I did. So if you have not heard, I'm sure you've all heard by now, and I know Kate and I share a similar opinion on this, that Debbie Collier's case was ruled unaliving, and it was due to inhalation of toxic gases and I guess, what was the other thing? Hydrocodone.
Hydrocodone toxicity. I just
oh my
say a lot of
gosh.
bad words when I hear that. So, oh, we lost Parker. Parker, where did you go? Come back. I think she just kicked herself out of studio. Well,
kicked myself. I was trying to highlight Beatles singing, it just went off.
I'm pissed about it. I'm so mad about that.
Hey, Ellie. So I'm extremely mad. I felt nervous building up to it, like it was coming, and I felt like they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, and I felt like a lot of it was taken from Amanda. Like they relied so much on her. As soon
as hoping it was a leak and they did it on purpose to get Amanda to relax, and then they announced it, and I'm like, come on. It almost feels like they couldn't find a connection, so it's like, this is it. You know, that's what we think. Like,
I remember when they were switching their tune a little bit, and they said the exact words, like, we have found no evidence. It was basically a lack of evidence. And all of a sudden everything shifted, and they were going to, thanks, Alex. They were, all of a sudden it was this unaliving thing. Now the coroner said that they showed up and they knew right away. It looked like somebody had done that, like they had unalived and stuff like that. Okay, so that's what the coroner says, but you've got law enforcement who was adamant that it was not that. So, and you've also got people that visited the scene nonstop who said they never saw a gas can there, but then the gas can suddenly appeared, like what, a month later? And
Yeah,
I mean,
the gas can just suddenly. Oh, we went back and found it. How do they know someone didn't go?
exactly. Hey, AG, now could the hydrocodone, is that what it's called? Yeah. Yeah. Am I behind in my own chat? I feel like I'm behind in the comments. Okay, so
No, I said it late because I was answering.
Okay. All right. She could have been on there. We know she. Hey, Caddy, Texas, good to see you. We know she had a back issues. Could she have taken too many? Absolutely. It's for me. I'm struggling with the burning. So somebody said, so you mean to tell me she unalived herself to make it look like her daughter Amanda was, like, so she gave her daughter Amanda $2,500, then unalived herself at a random spot, only to cause her daughter to be like the big, the number one suspect.
Like, how could she not have thought that that would happen? You know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense.
Issue. Here's my issue. One, I have taken lots of hydrocodone in my younger years, and I have never, ever been so, like, where I couldn't think of where I would have thought to, like, say some shit like that. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. Sorry.
That's true. Mel, that's a good point.
Like, I would never have, like, it would have never impaired me enough to the point where I would say some bizarre thing like that.
Your lover, shut up. Well,
I wouldn't say they won't let me go if I wasn't being kidnapped. Right. You know what I'm saying? And
I can't get it out of my mind.
If she was
Family Dollar,
why cause her family more pain and make it like somebody offed her? I mean, that's going to give them less comfort than if she said, like, I'm sorry, I love you. I mean, that would have
for sure
worked, you know?
A random location. She hopped on by a Chick-fil-A first, which I guess if that was like her last meal she wanted to have or something, but and Mel
would have definitely been my last meal too. So
hey, Yvette, right? Mel's got a good point. Like, on that much hydrocodone, like, I mean, you're gonna struggle to drive. I mean, enough that would kill you, I would think. She also was burned. I don't know. I don't think true justice was done. And I usually try to be pretty balanced, like, sometimes the simplest thing, like Trinity's case, I believe was an accident. Like this,
yeah, I just can't stay balanced too and not like let myself run wild with theories. And if they say that's what it is, I try and be like, all right, then, that makes sense. That's what it is. But this one, why would somebody unaliving themselves text their daughter, sending the money and say, they won't let me go? If she was like, just say, I'm sorry, I love you, or why they won't let me go. That bothers me so much.
And the coroner said, well, I knew right away when I got there that she started that fire. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Something does not make sense. I don't know. I just feel really, really right. No message to Steve, who's absolutely devastated. Yeah, that's true, Alex. That's a good point. The cops are human too, and sometimes they're wrong. And I think in this case, and then you've got the coroner who said, well, I'm just glad it's over. And now the family can move on. What? Like, for real right now? Yeah, no note, no message to her husband. Hey, Danielle.
I don't want to sound like, because
You're right, Pointer Lover. She could have taken the pills and gone to sleep.
Yeah. For the most part, I back law enforcement's decisions.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever sound like I don't back that, because I do. But there is, like,
I think they are wrong here.
I think this makes me wonder because there is a lot of places that do this, sadly, and I hate to say it, but these cases cost, like, investigating these cases costs them lots and lots of money. And a lot of times when they can't find a connection, that they prematurely close them because they have like a budget. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, with the Quentin Simon case, they had to borrow like all that money from public safety to keep his search going. It's like there is sometimes they make decisions that I feel like, and I'm not saying they did, but I'm saying I wonder if that's a possibility because it almost feels like they just couldn't find anything, so they were like, all right, we're going with this. You know what I mean? Like, we can't find.
I agree.
Like in the Barry Murphy case, they were wrong about, like, they did a lot. They screwed up a lot in there. You know what I mean? Prematurely arresting him. They did terrible with the evidence, things like that. Like, you know, cops aren't perfect either.
Yeah.
And like,
well, let's look at Summer Wells' case. I mean, give me a break. Look at what they've done there. I don't know. I heard a different perspective, and in my opinion, it's so hard to tell the context of what somebody. Absolutely. The coroner's last name was Franklin. I can't remember the first name. I'd have to look. You know, I just don't know. I go back and forth.
You know, it's a context thing too, but like, if you're going to off yourself, you're gonna think
why
about
not split the money too?
Yeah, like, why not split it with your kids? But like, if you're gonna off yourself, you're not just gonna you're gonna really think of what you're sending. And she sent her son something too, didn't she? Like,
I love you. I love you.
Yeah. So I mean, said. I just find it hard to believe that she acts like she didn't put thought into these text messages or didn't double check what she was saying.
It's true.
Or, you know, what I'm saying?
Her grandkids she loved more than anything, and she didn't even say like
if I'm just having a regular conversation with somebody, I may misconstrue what I'm saying and like talk to text or something like that. But in my final note to my kids, I'm not going to do that. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
I know, I get it. So let me ask you guys, from seeing the footage of her in that store, do you see a woman that's no, Beatlemaniac, I see a woman that's getting ready. Like, why she was in that woods, I don't know. Could she have been depressed and wanted to do something? Maybe. There's too much that I don't understand. She didn't look
sad. She didn't look distraught. She looked like she was on a mission to go do something. Like, she had plans, you know?
The Family Dollar chick said she just seemed like she was shopping. Like, and hey, Lucia, the hard part is that I feel that the police were a little bit prideful, and it took them so long to get in the FBI to even like, and then they said, no, the FBI is not involved. We're just asking them questions. And then all of a sudden, like, they said they sent the information to FBI. We've heard nothing about the FBI. And then we don't, like, there's no presser or anything in a nationally covered case. They just issue something through the corner that says this is what it is. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, no press conference, no nothing. And now that they have ruled it that, it does kind of bother me how they, like, now that her son said they like chuckled at him and stuff like that. Now that bothers me now, because then I was like, oh, well, maybe they leaked it and maybe, you know, whatever. But now it's like, and almost.
Yeah, it bothered me more when I read the article, and then I thought maybe Stephen was telling the truth, and the guy did chuckle at him, because when the coroner said, I'm just glad it's over, I was thinking, okay, it's just weird.
And not only that, but like, her daughter admits that she has anger problems. She comes home.
I'm sure Danielle.
She goes missing. The neighbors. There's a lot of weird circumstances behind it. You know, like, there's just. It's not just that. There's a lot of stuff that just seems strange.
Yep. I know. All right, so let's talk. I'm glad Kate's up here, because I still can't figure the layout out. All right.
Of the house, I can help you with that.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe it's true. I know. Yeah, I know Pointer Lover. I still won't, and I hope that we learn more eventually. But I don't know. But okay, this case of the Idaho students gets weirder and more sad every time I look at it. It's absolutely heartbreaking. So here's some notes I took. Let's go over it. First of all, I want to ask Kate a question, and chat might know this. They don't have the murder weapon yet, the knife, but
Yeah.
they've said that it was a Kabar knife, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do they know?
Because I believe a Kabar knife is all right. So it's kind of confusing, but like 3/4 of the blade is like smooth, and then when it
And then
gets the bottom, it's edged.
so that could be why they said it was
It has like a specific pattern and length, like
yeah,
so, if it was just a regular knife, it would be either straight through. If it was an all edged knife, it would be all edged. But this is like a weird pattern.
yeah. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. So we're gonna watch the coroner's interview if you haven't seen this. It's only 1 minute and 45 seconds, and then we'll get in some of the things Kate and I were looking at just now. If you haven't watched Melissa Jade's coverage or Alex's coverage of this case too, very good. They are very good. I didn't mean very good. Don't watch them. That's why I don't. Oh my, that's horrible. Oh, it's awful hearing their parents. Oh, and now there's like everybody's leaving school. Well, it is Thanksgiving, but they said people can't get out of there fast enough because now law enforcement is like so. Law enforcement brought in what are they called? Behavioral analysts or something, which
Like
pretty much
someone who like studies like the MO of like
yeah. And somebody said you can pretty much now they don't have suspects.
a
And
profiler.
yeah, so now they're retracting that. Yeah, people might not be safe. The Idaho incident. Oh wow, Danielle. Okay, so the coroner is taking a lot of heat for doing this interview, and so is News Nation. I don't really have an opinion
People
either
are
way.
mad at the coroner because the locals asked her questions and she didn't answer the questions, and then she did this interview and she answered the questions.
Yeah.
So they were like really pissed about it.
Okay, here we go.
It was late at night or early in the morning, so it seems likely that maybe they were sleeping.
Were they found in separate areas of the house?
That hasn't been disclosed yet.
Can you tell me, when you say that they might have been sleeping, were they found in bed?
Yes.
Oh man. Wow, what is going on? Is that usually? Oh.
And so, can you tell me?
Does that take it off full screen
per victim,
or
were these sort of, individual lethal stab wounds that may have been less in number but more in lethality?
There were multiple stab wounds. Yes, on them. So and
were there? Go ahead.
And most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound. Yes.
Can you describe what that one might have been?
But they were to the fatal ones were to the chest area or the upper body area.
Were there, and I only ask this because it sometimes determines what kind of a crime this was, a crime of passion, a random crime, a fight, a struggle. Was there, were any of them slashed? Were any of their necks cut? Or were these all puncture wounds?
Well, it was a pretty large knife, so it's really hard to call them puncture wounds. And they were definitely stabbings. And it has to be somebody that's pretty angry in order to stab 4 people to death.
Oh, Okay, so a couple things. So there's a lot of rumors floating around. I almost just exited out of StreamYard. There, oh, there we go. There's a lot of
rumors, but I feel like there's a lot of them that are worth bringing up and saying it's a rumor. You know what I mean? Because it helps paint a picture. You know what I mean? I don't like sharing things
no
misinformation, but a lot of the rumors actually help.
Well, it's good to talk it through and to be able to say, okay, why is it not? Yeah. So there was one that Kate found that was going around that Dylan allegedly said, but apparently that's been debunked and it was a fake profile, which is pretty sick if somebody really did that.
That's disgusting.
It is disgusting because nothing lined up, because everything I've heard, as well as Kate, and like when we were all trying to figure out, like even Melissa Jade, where they were, because for some reason, okay, so here's a couple things. For some reason, they're not telling us the location of them in the house. However, they did say they were in beds. But what was I going to say? Wow, in and out my head.
Pictures I can show you to help like you understand the house a little bit.
So it would seem, according to some people, that the two roommates were on the bottom floor somehow, but that's just, speculation. It's said that I believe Ethan and Xana were on the second floor. Okay, so and I believe the other two girls were upstairs.
So yeah, I think so. Show my screen first, because I have a picture of the side of the house and it helps kind of like show the weirdness of the house. Okay. So it's a little bit easier to understand.
Danielle, I agree. That is something that I will say that probably media could have not shown. Because if we can't get it out of our heads, can you imagine the parents?
Yeah, you can share my screen.
So Mel, that is a rumor that I believe was started from this fake Dylan profile. Allegedly, that's being thought that it was, people are saying that the person took it down because it was actually fake.
But I've also seen news reports say that there was bodies on the bottom too. So I don't know. I'm confused about that as well.
We're very confused.
I saved all the screenshots of everything, so I'll find where I seen that. But
oh yeah, this was go ahead, start showing.
All right, so this is the side of the house. So there's an area with a driveway, which is the front, and there's like a basement where you drive up. That's where the driveway is, where the cars park, and there's a door that goes into the basement. Then there's steps that go up into the second floor living room, which is above where it says first floor parking level all right, so right above where it says first floor parking level is a bedroom, and then next to that bedroom is the living room. And then from the living room, there's this little hallway that leads to a staircase that goes back over above the kitchen to the third floor. So the kitchen's where it says second floor. The living room is on that's a bedroom right next to second floor. Then next to that is the living room, which has a staircase that leads to that third floor where there's rooms connected to a long deck up there.
Okay. And they, 1 second, Mel and Danielle, they might have been on the third floor. I've seen two different things. I don't know. I can't figure it out from. Yes, I believe there are
2 bedrooms on each floor and a bathroom on each floor.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm as dumbfounded. I can't find it anywhere. It hasn't been leaked or anything yet. So. Okay. Shoot.
Okay. Put yours back up while I pull up other stuff. You can put your screen back.
So what am I looking
at? I have to go through. All right. So.
Hold on. Let me start at number 1.
Yeah, do that.
Where's Melissa Jade? She knows this too. All right. Kitchen.
Okay, so the kitchen is in the back of the house. second floor, but the second, like you saw, the second floor is ground level in the back.
Okay. Hey, LFT. Hey, Rodigale. Okay, ground level in the back. So it is very
But
hard. It's an
It's
odd.
on a hill. So like the first floor is ground level, and then the second floor is ground level in the back.
Okay.
Well, the kitchen is ground level in the back. This living room is above ground level. So it's
Okay.
on a hill. Like it's built on like an angle. So you're gonna have
Yeah,
the basement.
there are 2 bedrooms on each floor, I believe.
So you can walk out of the kitchen doors and you'll be in their backyard, which is
Right, because that's where the sliding doors are. Those were the
Yeah.
ones left open, correct? That was what was open, correct?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then I believe I'm trying to organize everything.
So what is this?
Oh.
This is what I was trying to figure
All right.
out.
So this right here, those steps, see that like railing right there? That's steps that come from the basement.
Okay.
And that's the living area.
This is the living area. Okay.
Okay, so the living room is second floor facing the driveway, not the back.
Okay.
So if you're looking at the front of the house where the driveway is, it's the window in the front left.
Okay.
This is the kitchen. This is another part of
This
the
is
kitchen.
off the kitchen. This is the sliding door that was allegedly left open.
Yeah.
More of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. All right, more of the kitchen. This must be the bathroom off the bedroom.
Yeah.
Is this the bedroom on the kitchen floor?
That's third floor. That's a third floor bedroom. See how there's a deck that goes by? The deck is third floor.
Okay.
And that, I believe, is Kaylee's room. From what? Well, she could have been in anyone's room, but she did a TikTok in this room with her dog.
Okay.
So I thought maybe this was her room. But
now the dog was alive?
Yeah. I'll explain. So the dog is hers and that guy, Jack S. They bought the dog together at some point. I guess they were together, and now they're not together anymore, and they share custody of it.
So there's woods back there. I can see a truck back there, but okay. So this is her bedroom. No, this is this is her bedroom.
It's not really like woods. There's just another house. Like it's either an apartment or a house on the other side of that.
Okay.
All right. So that laundry room I think is in the basement, and then this is. That might be a second floor bedroom, or either a third floor or a second floor bedroom.
Okay. Oh, I want to watch her interview too. Thanks for reminding me, Danielle.
I think that's a third floor bedroom. It looks high up.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty high.
Okay.
Probably another one.
This is a second floor bedroom. This is where the blood was dripping. In that corner where that little cutout was, that's where all the blood was dripping from.
Oh.
So this is like. Well, this bedroom is right next to the living room and then next to the kitchen. So it's like in between the kitchen and the living room on the second floor. And maybe a bathroom there might be between them.
Oh. This room?
Right. This looks like it might be a second floor bedroom too.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't think that's a basement. I think that's a second floor bedroom.
I bet this is the basement.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess this is the basement because they have the
breaker box.
Breaker box.
Yeah.
That's the basement too. See the steps right there? See how it goes on an angle? That's the steps going up to the living room. And that big window right there faces where the cars are in the front of the house. If you see most of the pictures, you'll see the cops up in that front driveway area.
Okay. Another one.
That's another basement bedroom. I guess they're just different angles of it.
Yeah.
That's upstairs.
This is Kaylee's deck?
I think that's Kaylee's. Well, the deck wraps around, so I think both bedrooms have access to the deck up there. That's when the kitchen is. That's if you walk out of the sliding doors, that's what's there.
Man, okay, now I have a better understanding. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't imagine. So didn't somebody say at the beginning, somebody slipped and said it was like the worst they've ever seen? Like just so allegedly, to me, it sounded like so some people say the coroner was about to slip and say Xana was the one with
Xana fought back. Her dad did an
Yeah.
interview and said she fought
So
like hell.
she fought back. So I'm gonna guess she was the one, maybe with the multiple stab wounds. But that was from her dad. It sounded like the rest of them might have had one stab wound, like fatal ones, but I don't know. That's, that could go either way as well.
And she alluded to the fact that they may have been sleeping.
Yes, and that they were found in beds, which is interesting because she wasn't supposed to disclose. She said they wouldn't disclose where they were, but maybe it was okay just to say beds. I don't know why they're not saying where in the house. I'm sure there's certain things. So hold on. I want to watch. This is Kaylee's sister, right? Yeah. Interview.
The one who found the Twitch video? Yeah, that's Kaylee's sister.
No, that's not it.
I have the link somewhere I can send
Do you? Yeah, because I can't. I found it, but now I don't remember where I found it. Oh, now I remember.
It's an Inside Edition interview.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm coming, y'all. What was Kaylee's last name?
Gon, Gon.
Okay.
It's either Gon Claves or Gon Cal.
Got it. Got it.
I think her sister's name is like Avila or something.
Oh my gosh.
I need to get eye drops real quick. My eyes are burning. Yep.
But okay. Those poor roommates say will have survivor. Yeah, Danielle. I don't think the roommates had anything to do with it, to be quite honest. I think they were probably drunk and passed out and didn't hear it. Now, the coroner, I believe it was a coroner. No, the police said that because it's like it was a large knife, and because of this, stabbing, he alluded to the fact that they really wouldn't have had the ability to scream. So, rent ads say bedrooms offer plenty of privacy with a varied floor plan. I'm sure. All right. Hi, Sandy. Now you're all going to have to wait because I don't know why I don't have premium anymore. Oh, I know why. Because I changed credit cards. So
Citizen sleuths across the USA are focusing their attention on the brutal slayings of 4 college kids.
How do you kill 4 people with a knife?
We're learning about another strange detail in this case.
My most immediate question is, where's the suspect?
Dozens of websites and postings from armchair detectives are springing up, and some of the best known lawyers and detectives are offering their own theories about what may have happened.
Interesting how 4 students can be overcome by one person with a knife, not a gun.
Olivia Gonzalez isn't waiting for police. She's tracking down her own leads to find her sister Kaylee's killer.
We're not getting any answers, and we're not going to settle for that. Hi.
It was Olivia who found the potentially crucial video of her sister and Madison Mogan at a food truck just hours before they were murdered.
Look at this boss-ass sister finding all kinds of evidence.
I found neighbors' Ring camera footage so that I can verify that the Uber driver took her home.
She's also raising questions about why her sister called a young man named
She's doing
Jack
a better job than the police.
times the night she was slain.
At 2:26 a.m., Kaylee starts to call Jack. Kaylee calls Jack 6 times between 2:26 a.m. to 2:44 a.m.
Gosh, I give you a lot of credit. You're almost like a detective here, putting all the pieces together. I spoke with retired detective Phil Waters, who had a 96% clearance rate on homicide cases when he was with the Houston police.
There's no doubt that this is a person who is filled with a type of evil that is incomprehensible.
There were 2 other roommates in the house who walked away from this. How is that possible?
The use of an edged weapon is going to prevent any kind of real sounds that would awaken the other 2 girls. If this person, and it appears to be they are, proficient with an edged weapon, the deaths would have occurred so quickly that there would have been no opportunity for them to cry out.
My gosh.
So, Jack is, I have YouTube videos of them if you want to show it.
Sure.
They're just of them playing with the dog.
So, her sister, go sister. So I will say that I confirmed with a couple locals, and it based on, and here's the rumor going around the locals, as well as pretty much what happened when law enforcement allegedly got there. And based on the thing they sent out, hey, Pamela, to the school, they initially, it says, thought that, I think so, Sandy, that Ethan might have killed them and then unalived himself. And that's why they said that there was no threat to anybody. Obviously, if my kid was there, I would do what every other parent is doing right now and take it.
I think they thought it was Jack at first, and then now, and now they interviewed him now, because I believe I can't say this for sure, but I believe he's the guy who was at the food truck with them. Share my screen real quick.
Okay.
I'll show you a video. Look at his hoodie for one. He has a. Oh, we lost Parker again.
I promise I'm not doing it. Okay.
So, check out his hoodie, by the way. That's their dog. That's Jack, the one she called. And that's Kaylee.
Oh, well, that looks just like...
He's wearing very similar shoes and a very similar, or the white hoodie. So I think, at first I thought that it was Madison's boyfriend, but her boyfriend was in Boise, Idaho, and there's a screenshot to verify that he was with other people at the particular time. So I think the guy there is Jack S. I'm not going to say his name. They used to date. They bought the dog while they were together, and they switch on and off with the dog. He lives across the street from them in an apartment building. So he lives very close. And I think that's like why they were comfortable enough to be around him, but like left him at the same time because they're still friendly. So that's who she called. Apparently he's been interviewed and he's been cleared.
Yeah, they said he's not so one thing, they've said he's not a suspect or a person of interest right now. But they also said that about Richard Allen.
Yeah, I do think it's strange that he's a hunter, an experienced hunter who has access to them particular knives. You can even see a big knife in a photo when he was hunting, like laying on the ground nearby. Not that it means it was his. There was somebody else in the photo, but still.
That's a good point, Mel.
He would have a little more knowledge of. I think it was just one of those things, like they all hang in similar crews, and he saw them on the way home and started walking with them. And then,
Gregory,
they got in an Uber, and he was kind of surprised they just up and left. But then he walked home. But
possible, Sandy.
He lived in the apartments, like literally across the street from them.
Well, we can assume then. So she might have called Jack because she might have, that Ethan was there. She might have thought something was going on.
Yeah,
she heard
'cause
noises
that's
or
what I
something.
thought. I'm like, maybe she thought something was like weird and called him and heard some
It's
noises.
true, Sandy.
But then I was like, maybe she called him to come over, or 6 times in that period of time. I don't know.
I do. Hey, Emily, I do think that the fact that they're all in sororities and a fraternity, well, I think that's just me thinking of movies. Like, oh, it's got to be something against them. Yeah, you would think so, Danielle. So, but let me tell you, when I did research about the Kabar knives and stuff, it said that they were specifically made for military because of the way I'm sorry, this is going to be bad. Because of the way that they're gripped or something, it keeps your hands from being wounded, but also it keeps it so that, this is horrible, the blood can't drip down and the knife doesn't slip, which is
Well, that's a good point,
gross.
because I was like, for sure they would know if they interviewed the perp because they would have cuts on them. But if it keeps the knife from slipping, then
Yeah.
maybe not.
And remember, we're taking it from the dad who said she fought like hell or whatever. And now I'm not saying that he doesn't know, but there's also police have said that Abby and Libby had no defensive wounds, but we heard Libby fought back, so
yeah, this is what I find strange, and this is what gets me. If it was Jack, okay, let's just go there. I'm starting to think maybe not, though. Even though he seems like and there was a couple locals who commented that he's a little strange, that he got kicked out of his fraternity because he has anger problems, that he's a little weird. That's like what the word is. I don't know, obviously I don't know anything about him, and it's just speculation, but that's what people are saying who are locals in the Reddit threads and stuff. But here's another thing. Jack obviously knew the layout of the home. Also, it would keep the dog from barking, though. You know what I mean? Because everybody. But you have to take into account, too, this is a college town. There's partying all the time. So hearing yelling and screaming probably wouldn't alert anyone to anything strange. I don't think it's weird that those 2 girls didn't know anything, because let me tell you, when you're in college and you have a party house, people will just walk in and walk in your room, and like you'll be trying to sleep and people will just come in your room and start drinking and try and hang out with you. So it's not weird if you actually want some sleep to lock your door, and you know what I mean? Like, I've been to a party house at up in Penn State.
I mean, when I drank too much and I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out.
And the house is oddly like separated too. You know what I mean? Like, it's one side and then there's another side that goes up. So they may not have heard anything. And I just don't. And if they did, they could have just, thought it was partying, because it's normal for them.
And they do say they locked their door. So would they have been the victims? Maybe he did go up and try to get into the room and the doors were locked. But there's 2. Yeah. It's just
what I find weird is, like, all right, say the guy was targeting Maddie.
I agree, Daniel. I don't think they were all the targets. I think some of them were just collateral damage.
If we know that Xana and Ethan's room is on the 2nd floor, right? That in that one room where
I think I mean, we're pretty much assuming that based on the fact that there's one room there, and he was, he stayed overnight, but I know there was one empty room, I thought, in the basement. So
we know that somebody died on the 2nd floor in that bedroom, because that's where the blood's dripping. So here's what's weird to me. If they came in through the sliding glass door and they knew the layout of the house and they were going for Kaylee or they were going for Maddie, why wouldn't they just go straight to their room? How did they end up in that 2nd bedroom?
Unless the perp didn't know where the room was, which would also lead to believe that it wasn't
came
Jack.
in and started opening open doors. You know what I'm saying?
So Xana and Ethan were at a fraternity party. Oh yeah, Danielle. the two girls were at Corner Club Bar. Part of me thought that it might be somebody we don't even think, and it is ground level. Yeah. I mean,
The ground
the
level
ground
is
level.
part of it is technically a basement because it is concrete foundation, and part of it is underground under
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah, so when I say basement, I just mean the first floor. It could very likely be somebody that they met at that bar that one of the girls turned down and just happened to be a crazy psychopath that stalked them home. I don't know.
And just took it out on everybody in the house. Like, that's the only part that gets me is like, would they just start? It almost seems like, because unless they were all hanging out in the same room, that's just strange to me, because it's almost like they went everywhere they could get in. Like,
So
or if they were.
she got home at 1:45 and started calling him between 2:25 or something like that,
2:26 and 2:45.
to 2:46. She called him multiple times. They estimate, the speculation I've heard is that the time of death was somewhere between 3 and 4. Did anybody else hear that, or am I?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Okay.
I've heard 1:45 too, but I mean, it can't be 1:45.
No, yeah, because that's when they all got home, apparently. So that's why I just thought, well, she had to have been calling him because she was scared or something, but that doesn't make sense.
The fact that they said they were all in bed is weird to me, though, because it, like, say if two of them were in bed and then two of them were like in the kitchen, I'd be like, all right, he came in, hit that room, and then two people walked in and caught him. You know what I mean? And then he killed them. But it sounds like they went room to room,
Somebody said, well, you're assuming they were killed in bed.
Well,
he could have left him there. I don't think so.
That's what what's it called said. The medical examiner, didn't she say they were all in bed? And
she said they were all in bed.
The sheriff said that too. Hold on. I have an interview you can play where
I don't know, Mel, unless they called each other and one was on the way home. So here's the other thing is, we can assume whoever the perp was. So I don't know how to say your name. I'm really sorry. I'm going to butcher it. Imochidaro. I'm so sorry. So that's what somebody was saying, was that if they were all in bed when they were bleeding, you've got the mattress would have soaked up a majority of the blood. So then somebody said, well, if it was against a wall and the blood, then maybe the blood poured out that way. But he wasn't there long. Doro. Okay. That's much better. It would help to know where they are. I thought so too, Sandy. So, you notice how her sister said that she verified based on the neighbor's Ring camera that they Ubered home. So
I mean, that blood definitely came from that room, unless it dripped from 2 stories, which would shock me if it dripped all the way from 2 stories all the way down. If it made it through all that.
Yeah. So I think it's safe to say that the perp didn't park close, because wouldn't the vehicle be seen on the Ring camera, that the Ring camera that saw the Uber come home?
And in college towns, like, they walk a lot, and it could have been somebody nearby. I mean, it wasn't that far. It was a 6-minute drive from the bar they were at.
Oh.
Or maybe a little more than that, because it was I'll have to look it up, but it's not far. Might even be closer, the bar they were at.
Right, Sandy. Well, that's what people were saying. Like, they just don't feel like everyone was in bed because of the blood seeping like that because of the hardwood floors.
Okay, so John Webb interviewed Chief James Fry. He said, I asked him if the victims were bound and gagged. He said, it was not a hostage situation. There's nothing that would lead us to believe anything like that. I asked if he thinks they were killed in their sleep, and he said yes. I asked him to elaborate more on why they believe it was a targeted attack, and he said, we look at the totality of things. We look at the facts we know from the crime scene, and then make a formulated decision at that point.
Yeah, I think so too, Mel. Like somebody fell.
Well, the spot where the blood was
Very
coming,
true, Ava.
it looks like a little cutout in the wall that would fit like a full-size bed perfectly. So like there might have been a full-size bed in that little cutout. It was that picture I showed you where it had like a cutout and then a little piece of wall and then another cutout. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The room. A bed could
Well,
easily like fit in that little cutout area. So they could have been in bed.
so 226 to 246. So it had to have taken place probably closer to like 3:30 or 4 o'clock, unless like she's a power, like she hit the pillow and fell right to sleep. Because I still wonder if she was getting nervous, if she heard something or something, and that's why she called Jack. But again, he would know why she called him unless he didn't answer. Who found them? They won't say that either. The roommates did not find them. Hey, Boston Sports Lana.
Hey,
It is so sad. I've heard it was not the roommates that. No, we know it's not the roommates that found her. Some have said. So some people have a theory that it was the killer himself. I don't think he hung out there. I don't think that's the case. But hey, we've heard sicker things before. I've also heard that it was either Jake or Jack that came over and found them. So I don't know. What have you heard?
I haven't heard. So here's another thing where I think people might be overthinking. The whole like unconscious person, that could have just been the way the 911 operator relayed the message.
I did read that somewhere. Yes, people are
called and
digging
just
into
said like,
that.
I see someone laying on the floor in the house, at this house or whatever, blah blah blah, and then it could just be how the 911 operator relayed it. I think people are looking too much into that like unconscious person, or that.
That makes sense, Gregory. Because he did come in the French doors because that was the door that they left open. So he probably did encounter them. Yeah, probably Ava. Yeah, Sandy, something like that. Well, you would think so. Ellie had an address. I don't know. I'm still the one thing I'm trying to think about if he encountered. So if he walked in the French doors, would he immediately be able to see Ethan and Xana in their bedroom?
You mean like the kitchen?
Yeah, because like they were in their bed, right, or something like that.
I don't think that he would be able to see them from the doors. I think he would actually have to go. I don't know for sure, but I think it would he would actually have to go to their room. Unless he saw them like walk in there and he was behind them and just followed them in and killed them real quick because he knew they were awake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why Xana and Ethan, if the girls were and we don't know that the girls were the targets, but I honestly don't, and I've been wrong before too many times that I can count, that it was a random, because nothing was missing, nothing looked even out of place, as far as what you would think if somebody was breaking in. I just don't think that it was just this random, hey, I'm gonna go kill somebody today, they look good to kill.
I mean, Xana and Ethan could have been the target, but I feel like I kind of lean towards them not being the target because they were a couple. Unless, like, somebody cheated on somebody and there's some jealousy or something there. I don't know, but, like, I guess I kind of lean towards, like, it being Kaylee. Well, Maddie had a boyfriend, too, so I don't know. Like, and then I've also heard that that Kaylee had a stalker.
I did hear something about that. That's not, again, we're just talking. So tonight we're just talking about theories and what we've heard because we really honestly don't know much. except what floats around on Reddit. And, you know, the one thing I don't think is, that's true, Big Papa. Sorry, I like your name. That's funny. If they were stabbed in bed, I believe it was impulsive. That's sick. How? Right. So I do think if, like you're saying, it might have been somebody that they met that night that, what's that movie? Oh, no, not American. Isn't there movies where, like, girl gets turned down or something and he'll just, like, go off or something? Yeah. I think it was a Target. The couple was just, yeah.
It's just weird if the couple were in that second bedroom sleeping and it was a Target, why they would even bother to go in there and do that. Like, it gives me more of a vibe like they came in and just started opening doors and taking out people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they were all in the same room. It's like all sleeping in the same room. I don't know.
But we've also heard stories where, you know, like Big Papa saying that, so, hey, Mike. Oh, Mike, this Idaho case has me going crazy. That people have just wanted, they need to get their next kill, and they just, you know, happen to, I can't figure out the third bedroom. Why not search the whole house? That's what good job, Allie. That's what I have a hard time with. What's your thoughts on that, Big Papa? If it's random, do you think he just didn't go upstairs? Do you think he ran out of time? I like it when you call it. I don't know what else to call it. Do you think he just ran out of time? I'm saying okay, hey, could be a she. I'm just saying that. So that's the other thing, Danielle, is, you know, if they were drunk enough, I mean, you guys, you pass it. I would have passed out with my best friend.
Think they would be able to take this guy out if they were all together in one room. You know what I mean? It sounds like to me they were asleep in their beds and this guy went in and went in the different rooms, and that's what bothers me. It's like, if it's a targeted attack,
maybe, Ava,
why wasn't it just one person? Why was it 4 people all sleep in their beds? It feels like they just like went room to room and maybe couldn't get in those other 2 rooms.
That's what I was going to ask, okay, thank you, Big Papa, because I was wondering if it was one stab wound to each of them, how there was so much blood.
They said multiple stab wounds.
Oh, they did?
Really? The coroner lady said there was a particular, I think, like, there were ones to the chest that were particularly fatal, but there was multiple stab wounds on each person, and it was done with a very large knife. So
they said the knife was apparently so large that you couldn't call it. She said, I wouldn't call them puncture wounds like that.
Yeah, multiple.
Someone described it as
like multiple
gutting a deer.
It was like they knew where to primarily hit to kill them quick, but there was multiple.
Maybe, Allie. Now I will say that went till they found them. That's true, Danielle. I will say that you know, I think it was the guy Phil who has like a 90. When he worked in law enforcement, it's 96% rate or something. Whatever, said that, or law enforcement, that this person definitely knew what they were doing with the knife. You know, like, I got to be honest, I've never like gutted one of my husband's deers or anything like that. But like, you have to know what you're doing. And this person, they said, knew what they were doing. Yeah, I mean, you're very, yeah.
I can't get past the fact that I know they said he's cleared. So guys, don't come at me for saying this, but.
Well, he just says he's not a suspect right now.
Yeah, he's not a suspect. He's not technically cleared. But like, I have a hard. Well, I did see a tweet that worded that he was cleared. That's how they worded it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever, but I just have a hard time with that. If he was the one at the food truck, then she calls him, and he was a hunter experienced with knives, and from what people are saying, that he has anger problems and he's a little strange. So I don't like. It's one of those situations where it's like Debbie Collier, like all the things fit, and I guess, it could just be, I don't want to speculate or blame anyone. It could just be, circumstances that just fit, and it makes it look that way, and it's not him, but it's driving me crazy.
And the other thing that I was thinking is we don't necessarily know that the other one knew that they were home. Like they said, they all got home around 1:45. So she might, for all we know, I think maybe Kaylee, right, might have been creeped out. Yeah, I know, suspect or not, hoodie guy's creepy. And heard somebody outside stalking him out or something and called Jack. I don't know. I feel like the girls upstairs or that survived may not have seen them.
But if she thought something was creepy,
that's what I think so too. I don't. Yeah, I know. That's true. Big Papa. Yeah, I think the girls survived by luck. I think, but I don't know. But I do feel that law enforcement is at a standstill if they're bringing in like profilers and stuff, because they literally have. I don't think they have any leads or suspects, and now they are saying that the students need to be vigilant or something, whatever they call it when they have to be alert. I don't know. I feel like sometimes, I just feel like the bar could have been such a hot spot for
they're
a
saying
psycho.
The totality of the evidence shows that that it was targeted. So like,
that's true.
What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's just bothered me.
Boston supports Lana. So she called Jack, her ex-boyfriend, several times. Yeah, Mike, I don't think so either. Called him several times between 2:25 and 2:46. And allegedly, they said they figure it was between 3 and 4 a.m. that this all happened. But the fact that the girls didn't hear anything, really, like I said, that doesn't seem as surprising to me because, yeah, Emochi Doro, yeah. I just really think if you're that drunk and you're just asleep, you're dead to the world.
If anyone's ever been to a popular college town, you would get it. Like, people just walk in your room. It's common to lock your door if you don't want people to just, like, I stayed with my son's uncle one time, and I don't even know how they got sleep, because random people just show up at the house you don't even know. Like, they'll have a party and people will just walk in and you won't even know who the hell they are. They'll just show up because they see a party happening and they just walk in the house. They'll walk right in your room, help themselves to whatever. Like, it's really like a colleges like that. It's really just like if they have a popular party house, it'll be well known in town, and it's not weird for people to just walk in and make themselves at home. So I'm sure the girls, if they were tired and they were alone and they wanted to get some good night's sleep, they probably lock their doors. So if their friends are partying, they don't, have some weird ass people walking in their rooms, because it happens.
Yeah, and they said that the downstairs, somebody that used to live there or go there to party said, that was the main floor was very much like the part, obviously that was where you could be loud and stuff that they couldn't hear you. So I think the calls to Jack were from her being spooked. I thought maybe she heard his voice, but then when I read it, I know, it's crazy. There was something else that I read that I want to make sure I clear everything. But yeah, I don't think that they have an idea of who this could be. That's true, Mike. Yeah, it is very cold where they were. So this is
And people scream and yell all the time when you're partying. If you're in college and you hear screaming, you're just going to become immune to it, and it's not going to sound weird. Even if it's people screaming and bloody murder and you're half asleep, you're not even going to pay attention to that because people be like doing all kinds of stuff, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if you've
So
ever
this
been
was
to a college town, you would get it. That's all.
This was the post that Kate showed me that is, so look, we don't know if this is true or not. Yeah, Punk, I was worried about you. I was like, where the heck is she? So, this was allegedly written by Dylan Mortensen, but some have said it's a fake account. Others have said it's not, but I'm going to read to you what it says. It says, well, first off, we heard Xana and Ethan come home first and talk to him. I don't know who him is. They were both drunk, and that's when
Maybe
we
she
went to,
meant like they talked to Ethan.
yeah. Does seem really strange to me. Could have had to. That's true, Boston. It said they were both drunk, and that's when we went to bed. We live on the 3rd floor and always lock our doors to prevent people from stumbling in our rooms. We're used to noise because it's a party house. We were up late that night and didn't come downstairs until noon when cops came to investigate. Oh my gosh, those poor girls. We came downstairs and we saw the blood. So this is a lie. This is a lie. We came downstairs. This is why I think it's not really Dylan. And we saw the bodies bound and gagged. We know that's not true based on what law enforcement said. And blood everywhere. So much blood. We didn't make the phone call. We don't know who did. So that's the reason I feel like it's not a real account, because they said there was no type of, yeah. Yeah, because wasn't the 2 girls' social medias open? It was debunked. Thank you, Gregory.
Okay.
I know, right? That was so cruel. I thought I had heard it was debunked, but yeah. And then when they
But
said
I
bound
do
and gagged.
agree with what she said about locking your door, because like if like I would go up party up Penn State, and that's exactly how it was. You had no privacy. People just walk in your house. You don't even know, in your room. It's really like a free for all. So that wouldn't shock me if they lock their doors at night to keep drunk people out.
I was just looking at a picture of all of them, and I will say that I think Ethan had to have been asleep, because he's not a small kid.
No.
And
He's athletic too.
He's athletic. He's a big guy. I mean, I would say he's close to 6 foot, if not over 6 foot. I don't think, I mean, I guess if you have a knife, but I just think he would have been the one to have defensive wounds and fought back. I just really do. And I could be wrong. And maybe we just don't know about defensive wounds. But, you know, law enforcement seems to think this was a very targeted attack. Of course, they thought that about Debbie, too, at one point. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. I just wish, for the parents' sake, they never had to see that blood footage.
Yeah, Big Papa said we lived in a party house. People would stumble in with no regards, flipping lights on and yelling. Shit,
Yeah.
You could even wake up with some random stranger in your bed
Right.
that you don't even know.
Let's be real. We all still do it if we get drunk, like flip lights on and just stumble around. But maybe not going to random bedders. But no, what was the 440 update?
You got to hear, my brother fell asleep.
Yeah, Mike, that is true. They did not make the call. So there was speculation that it could have been the perpetrator himself, but I don't think that.
Yeah.
What?
My brother ended up falling asleep in some old lady's car in a Hulkmania tank top and American flag parachute pants. Like, literally was so drunk, blacked out, climbed in the back seat of some old lady's car and went to bed. Can you imagine waking up in the morning and finding some college-age kid with a Hulkmania tank top on and no. 80s American flag parachute pants?
No. So wait, Kaylee's bedroom is the 2nd floor?
3rd, I think. Based on her TikTok.
Who's that girl? With the dog?
Yeah, that's Kaylee. That's the 3rd floor.
That's the 3rd floor?
Yeah, that's
yeah. With that's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so then we just put her on the 3rd floor.
Well, if that's her room, you know what I mean? Like, I guess she could have made the
Okay.
TikTok in somebody else's room, but I'm going to guess she's on the 3rd floor.
Oh, well, you know, she actually, that would make sense because somebody's taping it. So, like, I bet she might have been. Oh, this
She could
case
have
is
had it
just
on like a stand on a side table or something, no? Because it does look like it's a little low. Like the camera angle looks
true.
like it's sat up on a table.
I just wish I could see the pictures on the wall and then I'd be able to tell you. She was gorgeous. I mean, they all were. Oh, I was going to show you the map. Their arms would be where the defense, unless he was right, Big Papa. Okay, I believe killer took all of them by surprise. If Ethan and Xana in bed and the killer struck Ethan first, Xana may have awakened and fought before she was. Yep, Gregory, good point. I think if he took Ethan first. Yeah. All right, let me see this article. Sometimes I find the local articles are better than the like Fox News and all those things. All right, so we know about that. We know their names and everything. Police say their victims were an isolated, targeted attack. So Ethan and Xana were at a fraternity party at Sigma Chat on Nez Pierce Drive between 8 and 9 p.m. The other two girls were at the Corner Club downtown between 10 p.m. and 1:30. Then they went to the Grub Truck. They identified him. So let's see here. So Ethan and Xana were over here at this residence. Ethan and Xana were at the residence at 1:45. Okay. So what time did they get home? I'm so confused.
Hold on, that explains everything. Like Kaylee and Maddie were at the Corner Club and then the truck, and then Ethan and Xana were at another party, like a frat party. So they get home close. I think they get home first.
Because it says they still registered at the residence where the Sigma Chi Pi or whatever party is at 1:45 a.m.
Oh, so they were still so they get home later.
Well, no, I don't know. This is confusing. Do you see it? Because underneath the 11:12, it says 11:13, all the way over here where the party was. And that says Ethan and Xana at the residence.
So one is pointing to the party and one is pointing to their residence. The bottom one is pointing to their residence.
Okay, so they were all home at 1:45.
Yeah.
Hold on. Likely that the victims were asleep during the attack, but she cannot say which of the... so she said it likely that some of the victims were asleep during the attack, but she cannot say which 4 victims. The bed sheets were taken. She cannot speak to defensive wounds or the specific time of death, but all victims could have been killed with the same knife. If it wasn't the same knife, it had been one very similar.
The sheriff alluded to the fact they were all sleeping now.
Yeah, and well, she did say the bed, so I mean, I don't know. This might have been before the coroner's report. I can't imagine having to do the coroner's report for this. So it said it would be hard to hear anything from the bottom level. He said in his time living there. This is a local. It said the source said about 20 feet from. All right, let me read this. A source that used to live in the house for 3 years and attend University of Idaho and is remaining anonymous due to safety reasons tells KTVB that there are 2 bedrooms on each of the floors of the 3-story home and a slider door that leads out back. We knew that. The source said that around 20 feet from the slider door near the kitchen is a bedroom and then stairs that lead to the 3rd floor. The slider door leads out to the backyard and backs up to a remote area. It would be hard to hear anything from the bottom level, he said. In his time living there from 2012 to 2015, downstairs roommates often had parties or turned music up because they are below the living room and towards the front end of the house. Yeah, so that's pretty much.
So they're away from the bedroom. So maybe, I mean, so I've also heard that Kaylee moved out and then moved back in. So maybe they were down on the bottom now. I don't know. But I did hear that the bodies were down on the bottom, like under. So did you see in the photo where they're all piled on top of each other?
The porch.
They're on the porch? Yeah. And do you see how you can see that like a deck runs above them that's like pretty long, like it goes back further? Like it almost looks like a closed-in porch or something. So they said that there was bodies down there.
Oh.
And this was from a reporter. The bodies were down there and in that second floor bedroom. Supposedly Ethan was upstairs and then the other two were downstairs. So it's going to take me a while to find, but a reporter did say that. Hold on. Let me look for it.
Oh my gosh. I was just, yeah, so I mean, like it says, their wounds were pretty extensive. They bled out, obviously. She said that she's seen nothing like this in her 2-decade career. I tell you what, you know who's going to solve this crime? It's the sister. She is like,
yeah, she's doing the most.
She is like, I mean, she's tracking down
Ring doorbell cameras. And not only that though, but think about it. When you got police reaching out to you for stuff, but then you got a victim's family member, I feel like people will be a little more open to
for sure. I want to make sure I haven't missed. Oh, so hold on. 35 minutes ago, breaking. Okay, this is 35 minutes ago, y'all. Let's see what it says. Hold on, I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Yes, it says breaking. Moscow, as of 35 minutes ago, from the Idaho Tribune. Moscow, Idaho PD have released an update about the murder investigation. Detectives do not believe the 2 surviving roommates or the male in the grub truck. Well, we knew that. Okay. Oh, yeah, we knew that. So it says that the girls got home at 1:40.
So
and
they released
arrived at 1:45.
They released that the roommates and the guy at the thing were not involved.
Right. Investigators have determined that Ethan and Xana were seen at the Sigma Chi house at the university. At approximately 1:45, they are believed to have returned to their residence. Okay, so we've got both of them for sure coming home at 1:45. Ethan does not live there. That's what they said. We knew that.
Yeah, he lives at a frat house. So I've also heard that there was a guy who was removed from, this is just a rumor on Reddit, that there was a guy removed from the corner club that night for being creepy. They said he is known for having anger issues and allegedly lives in the Queens Road apartments less than a block away. I think they were alluding to it being,
Ava, I was just going to say that.
What's his name? But maybe there's another guy who lives in
Sandy.
those apartments.
Yep. So I did not know that. I just found that out. Okay. The garbage. What is it with the garbage truck? The garbage truck came.
And they freaked out because it took garbage, and I guess they maybe haven't searched it yet.
They're still sifting through 3 dumpsters for the potential murder weapon because the garbage and any evidence, because the garbage was taken before they were discovered. Yeah, maybe Sandy. So they did seize the 3 dumpsters. I don't think he let. I mean, there's still a murder weapon out there. That's just well, there's still a suspect out there. The father used words. Oh no, that was TMZ, which can be kind of graphic sometimes. I mean, we can assume they were in their bed, all in their bed. I don't see any new other than that one that was 35 minutes ago, but we already know that. So, I mean, obviously the locals are extremely mad because they're saying, like, how can you not have any idea? I mean, it's possible. Hold on one second. There's this picture that's really good. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so the sister did say the unidentified man had cooperated with police, so. Yeah, Mike. So has the FBI come in yet? Yeah, they're involved, right?
Yeah, they are.
So wait, Kay and Maddie got. Well, no, Big Papa. It says that they left the food truck at 1:40 and allegedly got home around 1:45, and that Mike and Xana left their party at 1:45 and got home like shortly after that. I guess it was all minutes. So I think so, Sandy. Yeah. So I guess like they all got there, but the local law enforcement has no idea. I mean, they're bringing in the profilers and all that kind of stuff. So the FBI has to take charge of this. Or yeah. So I'm gonna say the girls got home first.
I can't find the damn clip, but there was definitely a news clip that said that they were found downstairs, like down underneath, like in the bedrooms that you can walk straight in underneath that big deck. I think there's a door down there that goes in there. Not by the cars, but another door. I think you can see it in the picture. That leads to the downstairs bedrooms, which is probably that's what. So the clip I seen, they showed the blood dripping from the walls at the second floor, and then they showed that like little hall where that picture was taken and said that's where,
Oh yeah. Oh, what was the other thing I just thought of too? And I mean, we have to remember there's no. I'm sorry your head hurts from crying, Allie. We have to remember too, like, he didn't park there, whoever it was, because the sister would have seen it on the Ring camera that she got from the neighbors who saw the Uber driver, who she tracked down, by the way. She tracked the Uber driver down, and she saw the Uber driver drop the girls off. So I would have thought that the vehicle of the suspect would have been seen as well on the Ring camera. Given that I would think it wasn't, hey, Big Papa, that's highly possible too. I didn't even think about that. But then it wouldn't go along with the bed theory unless he was waiting and then waited for them to fall asleep, which is possible. But I just don't think that
they were home for a little while before.
And so if that's possible too, Sandy, if he didn't park there, we can assume that he might have known the area, that there was cameras around, or he was just smart and realized it, even though the girls, please, and I'm not blaming the girls. I'm not, blaming the parents or whatever. Oh my gosh. If my daughter wants an apartment, she better be ready to get cameras. But, So who knows where he came? Who knows? Somebody has to have seen a vehicle parked somewhere. Unless he came from the bar, which was a 23-minute walk. Thank you, Pointer Lover, for figuring that out. I do think Ethan messed him up a little bit. Like, he was surprised, what is funny about that, it was actually Xana, the one that fought back. Exactly, Big Papa. I'm going to lock in that. Well, I think he was on foot, Mel. I don't think there's any other way that he wouldn't have been spotted on that ring camera. I'm going to have to look at the surrounding houses. I wonder if
she
Earth...
had a stalker, maybe he lives in those apartments nearby and was watching.
Oh, that's right. There's apartments. Yeah.
Maybe that he lives in the same apartments as Jack. And, you know, felt more comfortable going in now that her and Jack aren't together anymore or something. And, you know, like if she has a stalker, he could be from those apartments and just walked right over.
Right, Big Papa. I'm just so confused by the ring camera thing. Unless there's multiple ways to get in, I don't know. I'm just trying to picture. I'm going to go on Google Earth later and look at like the surroundings and see.
If she does have a stalker, though, you would think Jack would know who that guy is or what he looks like, or you know what I mean? Because she probably would have told him about him, and or Madison, or they probably have some kind of phone conversation or text about him or something. You know?
That's right, Big Papa. Map time. I think regardless, we have had so much. I mean, does Jack have a roommate? Good question, Mel. I don't know. I mean, there's some really graphic pictures of him hunting, but he's a boy too, and they're hunting, and you know, it's just cameras are a great Christmas present for sure. At least we know that the hoodie guy is cooperating with police and has essentially been, you know, at least like cleared or whatever. I still go back to the bar. I just feel like that might have been what is that movie where the psycho goes to the bars and isn't it Psycho? What? No. He kills all the girls he tries to get with.
I think she had a stalker who lived nearby who waited till they were asleep. And
Christian Bale. Well, now the movie's bothering me. Christian Bale plays the character.
Oh, yeah. That's American Psycho?
Yes! American Psycho. Yeah. Gray identified to RSOs. What is RSO? I see that all the time.
Register.
Close by. Oh, close by, but that doesn't really fit the profile. I agree, Gregory. I don't see that.
If he was a registered offender, he would have. They had no signs of that. This is somebody angry who.
Yeah.
This isn't
registered SO is like that's one thing, and it's evil to death, and those, you know. But this was horrific. Like this was like they said, somebody that knew what they were doing and was just. I mean,
well, so somebody on Reddit said someone was kicked out of the bar that night.
That's right, because they were creeping people out
there. I thought they were alluding to what's his name, but maybe they were alluding to a whole different guy. You know, like I thought they were talking about Jack, but maybe they weren't, and they were talking about some other guy who got kicked out.
We don't know who was the creepy person. Why? So there's Jack and Jake. Jake is Maddie's current boyfriend. Jack is Kaylee's ex-boyfriend.
There's two Jacks.
There's another Jack?
Two Jacks that are Kaylee's ex-boyfriends. Jack D and Jack S.
Okay, so Jack S is the one is that who you're referring to?
Yeah, I've been talking about Jack S the whole time.
Yes, we've been talking about Jack. I didn't know there's two Jacks. Wow. Yeah.
There's also like a Jared people we're looking at. They're just picking out any names of guys that were, you know, I guess talking to her in pictures with her. So all these, she likes guys with J's apparently.
What if, and this is just a what if, right? The girls got the guy kicked out of the bar, and because he was creepy. I don't know. That feels like a longer, like, to this kind of rage would have been more, I mean, I
I
don't
feel like
know.
it would have been more than just getting kicked out of the bar. Maybe he did get kicked out of the bar for following him there, and they were like, dude, this guy follows us around and blah, blah, blah. And then he just...
Yep, Gregory just said it as we were saying that. That's what I'm just all of a sudden sitting here thinking. Some guys don't like to be shot down. Yeah, I would like to know if they have any profile yet. Yeah, he has some explosive anger. This is a guy that probably, just like I think Richard Allen did his thing before. I mean, because he didn't just kill one person. He managed to walk to other areas of the house to kill more people. Like, it's bad enough to kill one person with this type of rage, but to kill 4 people, like, when you have like explosive anger, you know, you like do it really quick, but then it's like you come out of it or something.
Is
This
Spokane,
was just
Washington, like on the border there? Because they keep finding it. Because, all right, so I
think
saw
so.
people saying there was a lot of Spokane reporters.
Yes, Big Papa, I agree. If they laughed or something, and then that's what I keep going back to. And then, you know, they said so, right? I mean, look, we all laughed at a guy, you know, or something, or just giggled. I mean, if they were drunk. Yeah, someone that wanted to be a part of their crew and wasn't. I tell you what, if I was in a sorority or a fraternity, I'd be hightailing it out of if I were any of those kids, I'd be gone. And most of them are, I think. Parents said they couldn't get their kids out of there fast enough.
Thanksgiving break anyway, but same. That's probably why they chose this time too, because Thanksgiving
interesting.
break coming, and they could, if it was a student, they would be able to just leave for Thanksgiving break. So maybe that's why they picked this timing.
Well, also, Kaylee graduates in December. I didn't know that till tonight. So she's leaving in December because she graduates, allegedly. Allegedly, she's moving out because she's going back home because she graduates. So that could be another reason why. If she has a stalker, this would be the only time, probably. Remember that kid that was locked in a dumpster being bullied and he stabbed the girl on the way? Yes, right, S. Hockett. Good to see you too, S. Hockett. Yeah. Exactly, Ava. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, you know, okay, Hoff, I apologize. Where like, yeah, like one of them yeah, I would think that would bring you out of the, you know, the rage. For sure. I believe it's a college student with a lot of rage, kind of. I'm going to have to look that one up, Mike. Right, Ava, exactly. Which makes me think that he was after the, you know, the first people he found was probably not who he was after.
So
Tattooed was.
Sorry, they were all in, there was 2 in Pi Phis, 1 Alpha Phi, and 1 Sigma Chi. I guess they were all in like sororities and fraternities. I'm on the Corner Club Facebook page to see if I can find anything.
Yeah, I couldn't find any either, but I'd be very interested to know if anyone's been recently kicked out of any of the sororities they were part of. But yeah, I believe you're right. They hated the women. I do. Oh, Elliot Rodger. I've heard that name before. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I don't know. I think Ethan, unfortunately, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, they all were, but we'll see. But anyways, well, I think Kate's going live here soon. So I'm going to go check on my oldest, and then I'm going to go make sure all the doors are locked. And, yeah, like all the doors.
Right.
This case creeps me the heck out.
It does.
It's like a movie type of case.
It creeps me out too.
Yeah. And
Makes you scared to leave your kid, let your kid.
it does.
You know,
It does.
scary.
And when we talk about these cases and we're together, like we just get excited, y'all. So it's you know,
We
you
don't-
just
we
talk
don't
over
mean
each
to-
other. But all right, guys. Well, I will see you over at Kate's if you can make it over there. And Mike, we're gonna set that up. Thanks, Sandy. We still want you to come up, Mike, and give us your expert opinion on these cases. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
See you at
Soon.
9:30.
9:30, Kate's channel.
Bye.